Alright, hey, what's going on everybody? So, yeah, today, like in the video I mentioned yesterday, we are going to be painting and changing the color of this headset. And if I remember, or if I have everything right, these should be the only tools that I need. And, I should be able to get everything apart mainly. These things actually come apart really easily for nobody who has ever tried. So to get the headband apart, it's those screws on each side. The two hex heads on the outside for me, hold up, this one and this one over here just don't want to come out at all, but I can get this security head out, which I think will let me get this metal bar out of here. And then to get the ear cuffs off, there's those same amount of screws, but those will actually come off. And then to get the get to the speakers and everything else, that's where those are. There's just 4 screws right there, and then this will all come off. So I'm going to go ahead and start taking screws and everything apart, and yeah, I'll come back to you guys when I have this thing completely apart, hopefully. Alright, hey, we're back. Sorry you guys missed all of the painting, but I did not want to make a video of literally watching paint dry. But here we have all of the parts painted and done. Now, the main headset part, is about the only thing that got something, or that couldn't get a thing painted that I want to have painted. And I was talking about these metal bars and everything else here, so I'm just going to scrape this black off and let it get back to the aluminum color that was underneath it. But I really wanted that to be the same color as this, where it's got like this metallic bronze orange to it. But oh well, I can live with it being silver, and I really wish I could get the wires in there to be black, but I know that after a while, 1, paint won't stick to the wires, and 2, it'll all just flake off from the moving that it does, or just it'll flake off. So anyways, I'm gonna get into the process of putting this back together, and then we will resume later, and it should still work. Now, when I said I didn't want to deal with taping anything off, the only things I really taped off were the Astro logos on there, which you can see didn't really get taped off too well on that one, and then this one got taped off a little too much, but that one kept its shape just fine. And the speaker covers over here, because although getting paint on the speakers in here wouldn't have done anything, because the voice coil and the part that actually moves are covered by the diaphragm, I just decided to cover it just to be me, I guess. I don't know. I covered it, and that's just with painter's tape. I'll take that off, and yeah, we'll get back into everything. I'm sorry you guys weren't staring at nothing because I was paying attention to not where my camera's pointing. So yeah, I'll resume with you guys in a second. And these, I debated whether I should sand them and paint them because of this coating on here. I don't think anything would stick to how smooth this coating is. But I came up with an idea that I might actually try to 3D print new covers for those and have, you know, my own custom covers. Now you're going to say, well, why don't you just go buy the custom covers where they're made by Astro and you can have your own design put on them? Because I like it making my own stuff. I don't know, it's cheaper to do it this way. So yeah, I'm going to get this all put back together and then come back to you guys when it's working, hopefully. Okay, so in my haste of trying to do this all in one day, where I probably should have waited overnight for the paint to dry. Well, there, you can see like the wire, how I was already talking about the paint not sticking, and in the process of me scraping all this off, there is still a shitload of like paint shavings everywhere. You can probably already pick out a few spots where paint did not adhere well, mainly because with spray paint, there are kind of phases to it, and the paint in here, this is the same way with my desk. It goes from a liquid to like a tacky, and then it dries. It becomes this real hard stuff. Same with my custom 3S lipo box that I made a while ago. It took it about a day or two, but then that paint stuck to that metal so well I probably couldn't get it off without sandpaper right now. But
with me trying to get this all done in a day, as I was messing around with everything else, like if I take this off, you can see that as I was messing around with it and just rubbing up against it, I was rubbing paint off. So I can obviously come up with these later at a later date and hit them with a paintbrush or something, but for right now I'm just calling it the 10-foot Astro, or the 10-foot Astro mod. Yeah, I mean, the tops and stuff, they came out okay. The only thing that really got scuffed up were the back parts, like right here where you can see it got scratched or just rubbed up against. Right there, I just drug it across the table, but I didn't get anything on the red. Yeah, but oh well. I mean, they're red, black with a small hint of orange, like I was talking about. How you guys can see the connectors up here are orange. The inside of the ear pads are orange. The earmuffs red, black. So it basically matches my setup once I get the LEDs for it. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. And for anybody who's wondering, yes, obviously they still work because I didn't mess with any of the wiring to them. I thought about unsoldering stuff and taking the wire out so I could just literally get it all down to bare parts and paint it, but I decided against it. Mainly because, like I said, as I was putting it together, if I were to get paint on the speakers, nothing would happen. In fact, it would actually insulate the rest of the wires and the circuit board that is in there. But it wouldn't have any effect on the speaker because it wouldn't be hitting the voice coil, and that diaphragm is already so fucking stiff that it wouldn't have a little bit of paint on there wouldn't do anything to it. I still have the tape inside the microphone inputs on each end, and if I were to just take that out, it would still look black, and I hardly ever put a microphone in anyways, because if I'm going to use a microphone, it's going to be my Blue Yeti. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope some of you can get inspired to do this. You can either do it to your headset, or you can do it to literally anything you own, just as long as you're brave enough to take it apart and pay attention and then put it back together, and as long as you're willing to take consequences for it, or if you're just the adventurous type that like to take shit apart and mess with it, I highly suggest doing this to literally almost anything you own that you are brave enough to take apart. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one.